Do you got an old car that every time you want to bump music, it sounds god awful? Well, yeah, me too. This is my 2001 Toyota Celica, and it may not have blown speakers, but it does have the original 20-year-old OEM speakers, never been upgraded ever before. So I went ahead and upgraded to some high quality plug-and-play speakers, and we're gonna see today if this makes a big difference, or am I gonna have to upgrade the subwoofers?
We paid $100 for all this. And here's the thing, I didn't want subwoofers. Why? Because I don't really feel like spending a gazillion dollars on something that's heavy as hell in the back of a car. Not on this light thing. It's not worth it. I really wanted to see the bigger question, can simple speakers make an actual difference on a vehicle, or is it just a waste of money? It is all plug and play and pretty simple to install. Speaker, obviously, you got the cover for it. It looks really cool too. You got the mounting brackets with the bolts they include. And on top of that, you got this harness which connects to the factory one. No cutting and no fabricating anything. That's the good part about this.
All right, I'm gonna show y'all what it sounds like before we upgrade the speakers. We're gonna put it halfway. It does not sound that loud at halfway. Yeah, it's not that loud. All right, we're gonna put it at max. Okay, that's at max. It's decent, but it could be better. So we're gonna go ahead and upgrade them. These are all the tools you need to do the work. You just need a drill gun, some electrical tape, a trim piece removal, and your wire cutters / crimpers. You'll see later in the video with what we're gonna be using this for.
So first step to do any speaker is to remove the door panel. Every single one's gonna be a little bit different, but the gist of it is the same. You're gonna have multiple screws throughout the door. Mine has two here, there's one in here, and then you gotta remove if you got a door switch or the panels for the mirrors right here. There's a little button inside, you just unlatch it. There's gonna be a screw in here, you remove that as well. And then get an interior trim piece or a flathead screwdriver and pry on the bottom, and the whole panel will come off. Let me show y'all. Now I hope this door, we don't screw it up and miss like 30 screws. Now for the trim piece, my car has one of these little plastics. Gotta remove it. Well, hopefully, so I don't break it. And this doesn't have a screw, meaning someone's been in here, obviously. All right, now you'll have a little switch in here, or you'll have it for the windows. Mine is in the middle, but on a lot of cars, it's right here. You're just gonna do the same thing. You're gonna pry it out, and then you're gonna remove the little connector inside. That's it. Now you just lift up like this. Be super gentle.
For the speakers, now it's not gonna look like this. If you have OEM speakers, you should have a plug that looks something like this. Basically, you'd have a whole plug-in setup like this. But someone over the years has played around with this and done some jank nonsense, and we're gonna fix that today too. But basically, there's 4 screws on the speaker itself that needs to come off. There's also this wire that connects to the speaker. You have the female and male connecting wires right here. But this should not be taped up like this. This should have like one of those butt connectors on it if you're gonna wire up that way. Someone did some jank nonsense and basically taped it up. We're gonna clean that up. Let's go ahead and get the first part removed of the speaker itself. Just the screws that wasn't even holding that up. And make sure y'all hold this. Once you get the speaker completely disconnected with all of its 4 screws, you're gonna need to hold it or it's gonna go flying. See, and that's what I'm saying. And the other screw, the 3rd screw, wasn't even holding it. All right, all 4 screws out. You have the positive connector and the negative connector. You're gonna pull both of these out, if they'll pull out. Okay, there we go. We have positive connector off and negative connector off, and this was a 320 watt max and 50 watt, and they were Pioneers. They weren't blown, but I'm suspecting, since, I mean, these look really old, and this has like all the crud, they may have been starting to go bad. And then too, the wattage is low. We got 100 watt. I would take a quick photo before you pull apart your female and male connecting wires, because you don't want to put the opposite together or your bass will sound horrible. The audio will sound horrible. You'll know if you did it wrong. So I'm gonna take a quick photo of this and then be able to pull all this tape. Go ahead and unwind them from each other. Now, I don't know who in the world did this nonsense, but it looks horrible. And yeah, this is just not right at all. And again, if you have OEM, you would have an actual connector piece looking like this hooked up to these two wires, and not some nonsense like this. All right, this is the wire that we are gonna remove. This is our white wire. We're not reusing this at all. So I went ahead, pulled it out, and pull it through here. For the speaker hookup, if you were smart and bought a connector harness that's just a straight plug and play harness like this one, there's no wire cutting, nothing needs to be done. You don't even need wire cutters, none of that. All you do is you would take this harness, plug the little plug part right here into the original connector, and then it will have these two ends, the positive and the negative end on it, that you would just plug into the speaker. I'm gonna take this wiring harness that has two little wires at the end that are going to hook up to the other wires that were previously cut. And then I'm gonna take these red little butt connectors and slide them in and connect everything up. And then this will just hook onto the speaker itself, and everything should work completely fine. And just real quickly, if you did have to cut any of these wires on yours, basically you're gonna need to pull off the little rubber part on the wires. You're gonna take your wire cutters and then open them up, and then you find the size, whichever size it is. I think it's a 18. And then you would just basically close it and strip off the little rubber part covering the wire itself. This was my little reference photo. So I know that the black and white wire goes to the purple, and then the plain gray one connects to the pink wire. Take my little connectors and I'm gonna put one of them in on this side and the other side. Should just look like this. We have the two wires nicely connected up to each other. Before I clamp everything down, I just like to take a heat gun and just kind of go to town on this. Here's the speaker. It has a nice little covering on top of it, which we are going to use. I'm going to keep this on for sure. On the back of it, you just have your positive connector up here and then your negative connector. This is what the other two pieces of your wiring harness are going to connect to this. I'm going to show y'all real quick and install it before I crimp all the wires down, because I want to make sure everything's connected properly before like making my life harder if I have to remove stuff. This is your positive connector. This is your negative connector. It's just hooked up like this, and it's going to sit in nicely just like that. Speaker screwed in, just 4 screws with the cover on it. Looks nicely. It ain't going nowhere. If you've never used one of these wire cutters before, I just have the Milwaukee brand. You can get whatever brand you want. You are going to be using down here. This is for your wire cutting up here if you needed to do any wire cutting. Down here, we are using the red dot only. So when you open this up, you'll see red dot lines up with this little mark right here. That's the only area we're using. When you put the wire in, you just push it down, it crimps it shut, so the wire can't move around and come loose. And just test to make sure it's on secure. Like, those wires are not going anywhere, and they've already been heat shrunk down, so Should be cleaned up and good. Now I just got to do the other side real quick. Last part, electrical tape. You don't have to fully do this. I like to do it because I like my areas to look clean when I'm working with wires. And when I go back and look at stuff, I don't want to feel like I messed up anything. I'm going to shove in this wire down into here. It was pulled out all the way. Just shove it down in. Now I'm going to take some electrical tape. Since these aren't moving anywhere, you should be able to pull on them a little and they shouldn't move. Those are crimped down good. I'm going to just take my electrical tape and put it around here because I want it to be nice, cleaned up and all. And then I am going to tape it up onto this so it just holds in nicely. It's not going to go anywhere and slide around or cause any issues on the speaker itself for sound. That's basically it. All we need to do now is just get our cover back on and then we can move on to doing the other side real quickly and we can actually test out these speakers.
Originally, I had like 8 screws to this. The thing is, if you guys saw a couple episodes ago, that's even worse. How do you get out now?
You don't.
I have to cut. That's even worse than before. Well, guess what? I screwed up and I didn't align this properly. So I only had 4. Luckily, I was literally like 2 seconds to remove this. Go ahead and boom. Pop this guy out. Boom. Just like that. Give him a nice shake bake. All right, and just like that, the door's off in 5 seconds.
I think it came with pioneers.
Maybe. I'm really scared right now. I hope this makes a difference. Ooh. I really hope this makes a difference, y'all.
Quick comparison. Here's the old one and here is the new one. There's some jank nonsense going on. So I'm gonna have to fix all this real quick. Wow, this was horrible what they did. Okay, wire can now come out from under. I got it disconnected. Basically, it was done jank. Okay, here's the nonsense that we got going on. They took these wires, kind of wrapped it around these 2 wires and then called it a day and taped it up. Got the connectors in, properly seated up, like so. You kind of want to go like halfway in the middle. You can always look up a video how to use a crimper. It's probably explained a lot better than what I'm doing. Anyways, you just press down on it firmly and then release. I went ahead and off camera kind of taped everything up nicely so they're all put together. And now we have our speaker cover on. So all we have to do is put the door back up and then we should be able to see if everything works.
The time has came. We are going to start this bitch up and we are going to see if these speakers are actually worth your money or not. Let's see. We're going to start at 0 again, same test, and we're going to go to 20, so midway, right? And then we're going to fire this thing up to all the way max and see how much clearer it sounds.
Look, I'm a rock star in real life. We was doing Grand Theft Autos, hitting licks, home invasions. It was a good night. Take the goods to the plug, then he bring us back by 2K. Feeling like a baller, see the Jordan on my shoelace. Nuketown, stepping off buses, hopping on fences. Call of Duty, me and my we in the trenches. Camping at the crib, playing true crime LA. San Andreas nice, bumping Ice Cubes, good days. Such a 90s baby, yo. If we grind it, then we grind it. Man, I feel like Tony Hawk. And my homies got that iron, and they feel like Tony Stark.
100% this was worth it. It is so much clearer at higher sounds, you can tell. The old speakers were very distorted, so once you put it all the way to max, it starts to get like really static and that like muffled sound that sounds awful. This is so much clearer. It's not going to be like extremely loud because at the end of the day you are limited by 2 things. One, your radio system right here, this is what's putting out also the power. It's always going to limit how much it's going to send to the actual speakers. 2, I don't have an amplifier or anything. But as far as quality of sound, this is a night and day difference. I can hear the music so much better at higher volume. Now, if you guys know, a lot of older cars tend to have background noises, creaks from here and there. My exhaust is super loud. So we're gonna see how it actually sounds on the road as well. We're on the highway, took y'all on it on purpose because there is some road noise. It is a 200-year-old car. So look, we're gonna put some music on, all right? And we're gonna see how quality of a sound is it with all this road noise in the background. It bumps, it gets you in a mood to get in it with the car, you know, feel the RPMs, feel everything. It makes you engaged in your vehicle. But on a serious note, I really can't hear the road noise a lot with the music up. The sound is still super clear. It's not taking away from anything. The car is not overpowering it either if you have an exhaust. Before it sounded like utter garbage. After it sounds great. Upgrading your speakers is 100% fucking good.